The end game is to connect artificial intelligence to the human brain and the human senses so that our perceptions come direct. And this is not me sitting here pulling it out of the ether. These are the words of people like Ray Kurzweil, the Google executive and so-called futurist. And Ray Kurzweil said that by 2030, which is a big year for them, so many things come into 2030. Artificial intelligence will be attached to the human brain and will do, from that point, more and more human thinking until human thinking is basically negligible.
David Icke is a self-published writer, former footballer, and sports broadcaster who has been branded a conspiracy theorist by the mainstream media and various governments for his stance on various issues affecting our society today. Icke is banned from numerous countries due to his work on free speech, censorship, and exposing those who control the world and how they operate secretly. According to Icke, there is a network of secret societies that is fiercely compartmentalized, so only a few people know the whole story about control, censorship, and the plans to enslave the entire human population by taking away our ability to think for ourselves. Icke believes there are plans to enforce a new global order, one that will be absolutely dystopian so the few can control and completely enslave the many. Icke has been giving these warnings for over 3 decades, but his warnings have become more dire and alarming in 2024. During a recent interview, Icke warns about the dangers of artificial intelligence, the latest tool of control, with which he believes this secret network plans to subjugate the entire human race. According to Icke, this is the endgame. To put AI in charge of everything we read, watch, see, and learn so that whoever controls AI can control the world. During the interview, Icke explains that this secret network of global elites has been quietly manipulating us all through social media platforms, big tech companies, mainstream media, and the entertainment industry. Ideas that are perceived safe are pushed, while dissenting ideas are quickly censored. However, with AI, they will achieve their aims much faster and make us all so dependent on the so-called advancements of the human race that we will no longer be able to separate reality from their false narratives. During the interview, Icke mentions the work of Ray Kurzweil, an American computer scientist, inventor, and futurist. In his 2005 book, The Singularity is Near, Kurzweil predicted that the technological singularity, which will see AI surpass all humans and trigger an intelligence explosion, would occur by 2045. More recently, Kurzweil has fast-tracked his singularity forecast, predicting that artificial intelligence will herald a new era of hybrid humans capable of aging in reverse within the next 5 years. In his interview, Icke warns that these ideas will be sold to us as great inventions that will make us better, stronger, and healthier. But the real end game is to keep us complacent and subjugated enough so we never have cause to question the narratives. We will now present clips from Icke's interview with the Strike It Big podcast. But before we do, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell for more videos like this. Thanks and enjoy the video.
So what they want to do is connect artificial intelligence to artificial intelligence, AI, to the human brain. And what Kurzweil said a few years ago now, because there comes a point where if you're going to transform society, you have to transform society. You have to do it in a way that people can see it. You can go under the radar for a long time, and all these years when I've been saying, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming, this is the plan. Oh, no evidence of it, mate, no evidence, because it's under the radar. And then suddenly, bang, here it is. Oh, my God.
In your face.
Yeah, so there comes a point where you have to break the surface, because to transform society, you've got to do it in a way that people can see it being transformed. What's going on? At which point, 2 things happen. One, you stop hiding it and you start sales pitching it as if it's a good thing.
The Great Reset.
Yeah. And we'll, if we attach to artificial intelligence, we'll be godlike and superhuman. That's a quote from Kurzweil, who bloody knows that it's subhuman thereafter. And then the other thing happens is once you've broken the surface and once you've entered the room and people are starting to go, what's going on? You've got to get to the end as fast as you bloody can. And that's why we're at breakneck speed now. And that end game is to attach artificial intelligence to the human brain so that perceptions come direct, which means that other perceptions can't manifest because your perception's coming from artificial intelligence. It's thinking for you. And Ray Kurzweil said that by 2030, which is a big year for them, so many things come into 2030, artificial intelligence will be attached to the human brain and will do, from that point, more and more human thinking until human thinking is basically negligible. You know, people like Musk are talking about, they're putting chips in bloody monkeys and all that stuff. I'll tell you about Musk. Musk's a front man. He's a out there sales pitcher. He's sales pitching electric cars. He's sales pitching Neuralink. He's sales pitching, we'll come to that, low orbit satellites beaming 5G at every, and 6G, 7G to come at every inch of the planet, which is all part of what I'm talking about. And he's a sales pitcher. So in so many ways, you remember those little rice-like microchips, or we're going to get microchipped, and thousands of people in microchip with those things in Sweden, for instance, so they can open doors, the lazy bastards, so you can't push it open. But actually a diversion. You got to look for the diversions. All the time there's diversions. You're on the motorway, you're on the freeway, and you're heading towards, you hope the truth. And all the time there's slip roads to take you off. And one of them is the little chip. Because connection of AI to the human brain is nanotechnology. It's not stuff you can see. What Kurzweil has said is that the AI will connect us to the cloud. Now, what is the cloud? It's a massive electromagnetic field or fields that's 5G, 6G, 7G to come. And so if you want to connect the human a human body, everybody, to the cloud, then you have to have the cloud on every inch of the planet. Now, you can put up your towers everywhere, and you can do the urban areas and what have you, but you can't do every inch of the planet. To do that, you need low orbit satellites. And so Elon Musk is through SpaceX, everything's bloody X with him, is the leading guy. And the idea is that we are, through AI and this self-replicating nanotechnology, connected to the cloud. So the cloud starts doing our thinking. It starts influencing our perceptions directly.
Elon Musk is now testing his Neuralink on the first human. According to the billionaire, Neuralink's first human trial participant can now control a computer mouse with their brain only about a month after receiving the implant. For people who still think there's no problem, Kurzweil has an upcoming book titled The Singularity is Nearer, When We Merge with AI. In the book, the Google AI prophet updates his previous predictions and elaborates on how AI can transform humans biologically. While speaking about the book on the most recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Kurzweil said he believes AI would overtake human intelligence before the end of the decade. He said, "We are not quite there, but we will be there, and by 2029, it will match any person." I'm actually considered conservative. People think that it will happen next year or the year after. Reacting to Kurzweil's predictions on X, Elon Musk said, "AI will probably be smarter than any single human next year. By 2029, AI is probably smarter than all humans combined. It is clear that what's going on is so much more than anyone can imagine. So how do we stop this? Do we take to the streets and protest, or do we continue to meekly follow their directions?" Icke has some ideas he believes will free us from this all-controlling, all-seeing Big Brother. Let's get back to the interview.
Well, I've had a phrase I've been using for decades: what you fight, you become. Margaret Thatcher, who actually was the Iron Lady, except she wasn't. She was one of the most manipulated prime ministers in British history, but that's another story. All you got to do is let Margaret Thatcher think it was her idea, and you got it, really. But she came out with this poll tax, and it was a very unfair tax. And this was an interesting point. It affected the middle class as well as the working class. Now, if it only affected the working class, probably the middle class and the rest will go, "Well, it's not my problem." If it only affected the middle class, the working class will say, "Not my problem." But it affected both. So there was a unity. And lots of people refused to pay it. They didn't smack Margaret Thatcher in the mouth. They didn't fight. They just said, "I'm not paying it." And what happened? Enough people didn't do it. And the poll tax not only got replaced, It brought her down, the Iron Lady, the impregnable Iron Lady. And all it took was enough people in relation to the poll tax saying, not doing it, not doing it. And you know, it's just incredible. People say to me, what can we do? Well, okay, get yourself a pocket calculator. 8 billion people, a relative handful in full knowledge that are actually orchestrating this dystopia. I think I see a way out of this. And what we need to do is say no to the few. But first of all, we've got to get informed about how it's working. That's not so difficult now because, you know, you look at what people like Sadiq Khan are doing in London and this war on motorists, this war on movement. People are starting to see this now. And the cameras going up everywhere. Well, the cameras are not going up for you, Les. I mean, in part they are, of course. They're going up to police these 15-minute communities where you'll only be allowed out with permission.
The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Are we going to keep buying the narrative that censorship is good for public order and that people like David Icke, who question these narratives, can disrupt the order of things? Are you going to someday be happy to live in 15-minute cities where you need permission to do anything just to save the planet, while the billionaires that want so badly to save the planet are free to pollute the world with their yachts and private jets? Will you be happy when you own nothing and AI controls how you behave, think, and speak? These conversations are very important, and as Icke has said, the 1% cannot control the 99% if we do not give them the power to. Please share your comments in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, also ensure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.